Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to another one of my Death Battle prediction videos. So, at the end of Wario vs. DDD, we found out that the next episode of Death Battle, which is, I believe, Season 6, Episode 6, is going to be Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. Now, this prediction is honestly going to run pretty similarly to the last one that I did, which was for Captain Marvel vs. Shazam, in the sense that, one, I probably won't, go too far in depth into their feats or take up too much of your time, because I feel like I can do this pretty quickly, or not quickly, but at least easily. And secondly, I have some things to say about this fight. In general, I'm not really a huge fan of this fight. I understand the connection between these two characters. I understand what they're going for. Both of these characters have artifacts, very powerful artifacts that give them all of their powerful and versatile power. But in general, I feel like there are way better options for both of these characters. This isn't a fight that I thought that, basically any Versus series would ever do, and that's not really a bad thing. Like, Death Battle has done fights before that I never would have thought of, and some of them ended up being really, really cool. But for both of these characters, I feel like there were way better options, and the better options are fights that I would have loved to see. Like, for example, Ben 10 versus Beast Boy. I've wanted to see that fight for a very long time because I love both Ben 10 and Beast Boy. And now it looks like we're not going to get that for a while because, they're using Ben 10 here, or we might not even get it at all, who knows. And then Ben 10 also has some other opponents that a lot of people wanted to see, like Generator Rex or Danny Phantom, but personally I was rooting for Beast Boy. And when it comes to Green Lantern versus Nova. That's a fight that I've wanted to see for a very long time. Like, that's basically at the top of my most requested, death battles, or the death battle I want to see the most. So, to see that they're putting Green Lantern up against Ben 10, like, that just, I don't know. I would have really preferred to see Green Lantern versus Nova, or Ben 10 versus Beast Boy, but I guess we're getting this one, so, we're gonna have to predict this one, it's what we have. So even if I'm not too happy about it, let's go right into it. This fight is kind of complicated, and the reason why it's complicated is because I believe we don't really know what Death Battle is going to be doing with Ben 10 yet. Obviously we know that the version of Green Lantern that they're using is Hal Jordan, or the Green Lantern that they're using is Hal Jordan. But based on the clips that they showed at the end of Wario vs. DDD, it's hard to say which version of Ben they're using, because most of the clips they showed were from Ben 10, the original series. But they also showed a clip of the older Ben, I believe the 16-year-old Ben. So I'm not sure if that's Alien Force or Ultimate Alien. I don't know what show that clip is from. But regardless, that kind of throws into question which version of Ben 10 they're going to be using. I'm honestly not sure. And, obviously his versatility and his powers are going to vary are going to vary based on which version they use. Obviously, it's very, very different. And if they use Ultimate Alien, then his versatility is way higher. Way more than Alien Force or the original series. However, what's even more important, in my opinion, is whether or not they're going to be factoring in Alien X. For those of you guys that don't know, Alien X is like he's the most powerful alien that Ben 10 has ever used. He's basically a god. He's like a godly creature that can basically do whatever he wants. Now, he's not omnipotent. We have seen him struggle in battle before. However many times, it hasn't been that many times, but we have seen it happen. And in terms of his powers, he can't just do whatever he wants whenever he wants, like an omnipotent character can, but he might as well be omnipotent. He's that powerful, and that much more powerful than the rest of the aliens, that it could actually be a game changer. And the reason why I'm throwing his inclusion into question is because I believe there have been times, I believe that Ben 10 doesn't always have access to Alien X. Alien X, I believe in order to use him, he's had to have special permission, so most of the time he actually doesn't have Alien X, if I remember correctly. So I'm not just throwing his inclusion into question because, oh, he's so powerful, maybe they just won't use him. No, legitimately, he doesn't always have access to Alien X. So I'm not sure whether or not they're going to give it to him. And if they do give it to him, then I definitely think that Alien X would be able to beat Green Lantern. Green Lantern is powerful, don't get me wrong, but he's not omnipotent. He's far from it. And while, of course, Alien X isn't omnipotent either, he's much closer than Green Lantern is. So I think if they gave Ben 10 Alien X, then I think he would win. If they did not give him Alien X, then I would be very inclined to say that Green Lantern would win. And this would be in terms of, whether they use original series or Alien Force or Ultimate Alien or even something else. I feel like Green Lantern would probably win if Alien X is not being included. And I feel like, I don't really have to go too far into detail to explain my reasoning for it. I've seen a lot of other people agree with these statements online as well. I just feel that Green Lantern is a far more powerful character and has far better feats, and just in general better stats. Like when it comes to his durability, he's been able to survive, hits from characters that can destroy planets. I believe he was even once kicked through a planet, and he's been able to survive, like explosions and attacks that are way more powerful than like even planet busting. So that puts his durability at a really high level, and he also has other defensive maneuvers, such as him being able to create a nearly unbreakable construct with his power ring. So, of course, that puts his durability really rather high, and in my opinion, it does put it higher than Ben 10's. Maybe I'm missing a ridiculous feat that Ben 10 has, but honestly, I don't think Ben 10 has the power or the durability to compete with that level of durability, meaning that I don't think his durability stacks up, and I don't think he'd have the attack capability to actually get past that level of durability. Again, maybe I'm missing something. If I am, tell me down in the comments below, but I just feel like that alone already puts Green Lantern at a huge advantage over Ben 10. Again, this is all assuming that he's not being given Alien X. And then when it comes to his speed, it's even more ridiculous. Like, I believe one of his standard traveling across space feats puts him at like 40 trillion times the speed of light, like over that. And then you also have to take into account that he has stuff like an auto dodge feature, which allows him to dodge a lot of, incoming attacks automatically. He also has, I believe, he has teleportation. There have been times, I believe, where he's been able to manipulate time to some degree. So all of that would make him even harder to hit. And I honestly feel with that level of speed and those extra things, without the use of Alien X, I feel like there's no alien that can compete with that kind of speed. And I don't think that, Ben 10 would really be able to land any hits or any, important hits on Green Lantern with that kind of speed difference. And of course, when it comes to power, Green Lantern has been able to match power of ridiculously powerful characters. And again, I'm not going to go too far into feats because I think, like, I'm making my point. Like, I just feel that Green Lantern comes from a world where you can have way better feats. Obviously, Ben 10 comes from a cartoon, but it's not like Bugs Bunny or anything where the Toon Force is, like, off the charts. Because his show is more of like an action-adventure superhero-like show, I feel like his feats are way more measurable and I don't want to say grounded, but they're not like over the top like other cartoon characters. They would easily be able to be figured out, and I just feel that, when you come from comics, your feats, especially when it comes to your survivability feats, are way better than what people may think. And Death Battle has been known to find like random one-off feats that make these characters even more powerful. And don't get me wrong, Ben 10 is really freaking powerful. Like, he is. He's got a lot of good aliens, and if we're using Ultimate Alien, then, he's got a lot of versatility and a lot of power as well with those Ultimate Aliens. But I just feel like, again, it's not to the same level as someone as powerful as Green Lantern. Like, Green Lantern's ring, it doesn't just allow him to make constructs. Not only can he make anything that he wants to, just by thinking about it, but he also has a plethora of other abilities, such as intangibility, invisibility, energy manipulation, which would definitely help when fighting certain aliens that Ben 10 has. As I mentioned before, he has teleportation, some sort of time manipulation it seems he has, at least on some occasions. I believe he was once even able to make himself grow, just by thinking about it, Like, the ring is basically a Swiss Army knife of abilities, kind of like Thor's hammer Mjolnir. So, that puts his versatility level and his unpredictability level really rather high. And I'm sure there are a lot of I couldn't name every single Ben 10 alien even if I tried, so I'm sure that there are some aliens that have some of these abilities as well, but the fact that he has these abilities all of the time and all of these well-rounded well-rounded capabilities all of the time, rather than Ben having to switch between aliens in order to have some abilities at certain times. I feel like that makes Green Lantern a far more well-rounded character. And in general, I do think that this could be debated if, Ultimate Alien is thrown into the question, but I feel like in general, Green Lantern is just a more versatile character. I feel like he's just a better character in terms of stats, in terms of power, speed, durability, and versatility. I feel like Green Lantern just holds the upper hand. He's a more powerful character from a more powerful world, in my opinion. And like the Green Lantern ring has been stated, a number of times to be one of the most powerful weapons or objects in the DC universe, if not the most powerful object. And of course, when you have someone who has the willpower like Hal Jordan, he definitely knows how to use that thing right. I just feel that the ring is more powerful than the Omnitrix or the Ultimatrix or whatever. I just feel that Green Lantern holds the upper hand here. Again, I don't want to go too far into the feats because I feel like I've made my point, and I feel like a lot of people already recognize this already. When you're a comics character, I've said this for a long time, in my videos, you can survive a lot of crazy stuff. So I just feel that Green Lantern has better survivability feats and better power feats and everything like that. Again, maybe I'm missing something from Ben 10. It's been a long time since I've watched the Ben 10 shows. And I love Ben 10, don't get me wrong. I love him as a character. And I used to love Green Lantern, but honestly, my love for him has kind of diminished over the years. I still like him, but not to the same extent. But in general, I just feel that Green Lantern comes from a more powerful world, and he is seriously one of the heavier hitters of DC. Like, I think that says something, DC has some heavy hitters. So, in general, I just think he is more powerful. Now, this is where I kind of have to, for my prediction, I feel, I kind of have to make two predictions here. I kind of have to make it based on conditions rather than just assuming something. And I really don't like doing that because I'd much rather say, this character is going to win, and if I'm right, then I get a point, then I get it correct, and if he loses, then I get it wrong. But I feel like I really can't do that. That's how big of a factor Alien X is in this fight, in my opinion. So, here's what I have to say. If they factor in Alien X, then I think that Ben 10 is going to win. If they don't factor in Alien X, then I think that Green Lantern is going to win no matter which version of Ben 10 they're using. And again, I really don't like saying this. I don't want to make any, but the thing is, I don't want to make any assumptions. I don't want to assume that they're going to use Alien X. I don't want to assume that they're not going to use Alien X, because then if they do something that I say differently, then, that's just a little awkward, and my prediction doesn't really mean anything anymore. So I don't like saying this, but in general, I think that Alien X is just way too powerful for Green Lantern to handle, so if they use him, then, he could just, wish him out of existence or whatever, whatever Alien X does in general, in order to beat his opponents. Again, it's been a long time since I've watched the show, but I remember how powerful Alien X is. But if they don't use Alien X, then I think that Green Lantern is just, I feel like he's just more powerful in general, and he would be able to put Ben 10 down. But those are just my predictions. What do you guys think? What version of Ben do you think they're going to use? And do you think they're going to allow him to use Alien X? Let me know down in the comments below, because I'd really like to know what you guys have to say. And if you actually already know the answer, like if they've confirmed it, be sure to let me know, because I'd like to know as soon as possible. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give this video a huge like. I always appreciate the likes. You can comment down below what you think of the prediction, what you think is going to happen in the upcoming death battle, anything you want. And if you guys could subscribe to my channel, that'd be so great. That would really help my channel out. But honestly, your view is plenty of contribution. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And just to recap again, if they use Alien X, I think Ben 10's going to win. And if they don't, I think Green Lantern's going to win. I really don't like doing that, but that's what I have to say. So again, let me know what you think in the comments below. And that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.